So I'm going to show you exactly how I went about creating the image for my example. So let's jump into my screen and I'll show you the process that I followed. So as a reminder, the e-commerce example is just my example. Whether you are within e-commerce or within the creative industry, whatever industry you're in, you can follow this exact same process and adapt it based on your use cases. So the first thing that I did is go onto Google and look for the magnesium complex product from a company named Tollplux. A bit of background on how, in my example, I found this product. It's a product that I saw on social media. So in my example, I have looked for images that have a nice clear background, that have hands holding them. I've avoided images that are full people. I just tried to keep it as simple as possible. Remember, the simpler it is, the easier it is for AI to take out what you need from that image and give you the result that you require. Thankfully, there's a bunch of different images here where it's just the product with a nice clear background, and that gives us a lot of space for creativity. We can take that product, we can put it in different backgrounds, we can get people of different skin tones holding the product. The possibilities are completely endless. Whether your product is a motorcycle, a tennis ball, an animal, a dog, a parrot, whatever it is, it's the same thought process. So now that we have located an image, all we do is just save the image into a folder on your desktop or whatever your preferred location is, so you can stay organized, because you are going to need to go back and collect that image. Once you've done that, you're all set to move on to our next step. Now, the next step is to engage with ChatGPT. And what I mean by that is taking that image, putting it into ChatGPT or whatever LLM tool you are using, and working with the AI and communicating it in a way that allows it to understand what your requirements are and give you your desired result. So we wanted to create a clone of those images. We're going to guide it to produce the result that we are looking for. And by the end, we should have some images that are ready for the next stage in the process. And once again, let's jump back into my screen and I'm going to walk you through my process and how I went about doing this. As you can see that these are the product images that I selected. Again, as mentioned earlier, very simple. If I click on this one, simple hand holding the product. Hand holding the product, we can see the actual tablets now within the packaging of the product. And so for simple image of the product with that background, again, just a simple image of the product there with a white background. And I've then gone on to say to ChatGPT that, hey, I am creating a TikTok shop video ad. It's going to be about 8 to 10 seconds promoting this product. I've uploaded some reference images. Please create similar images, each with subtle differences like background environment, setting, or different skin tone. As this is for TikTok Shop, each image needs to be 9 by 16 vertical, ultra sharp, high quality. I need each of the 5 images created one at a time. Please generate the first one now and then confirm with me if we can proceed to the next generation. So a couple of things that I wanted to note on how I structured this prompt here. So firstly, I'm just giving the tool some context here. This is what I'm doing. This is my goal. This is what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to create this video for this purpose. I've named the product on that. So remember, AI is now able to browse the internet. So when you're giving it the name of an animal, a product, setting, tool, gadget, it has got that context. So it can go in the background and learn a little bit more about that. I've uploaded some reference images. Just please create similar images, each with subtle differences like background environment. So I'm just letting it know now what I would like it to create from what I have uploaded. I've also given it some additional context around where this image is going, not just what I want, what I'm going to do with it after I receive it. As this is for TikTok Shop, I would like this to be 9 by 16 vertical. And for those who may not be aware, 9 by 16 is your typical smartphone aspect ratio. So your vertical video, which a lot of people will be viewing videos and entertainment in if you are using a mobile device. Whereas if you are using your television or you are using a wider aspect ratio, that will usually be the opposite of the 16 by 9. So keep that in mind in terms of what aspect ratio you want your video to come out as. It all depends on what it is you are trying to achieve. I've also said ultra sharp quality, giving the AI more context there again. Some people might not want ultra sharp, they might want VHS, grainy, blurry quality. So it's important to be specific about that as well. Now, I could have given some numbers and gone into further depth there, but I've just left it there for now just to keep it simple. Now, I've also said I need each of the 5 images created one at a time. And the problem that I've found upon playing around with ChatGPT, it's got this tendency to create or to export multiple images in a grid format rather than single images, which can be super annoying. An example is when I'm creating thumbnails for long form video. If I wanted to create different variations of a thumbnail rather than exporting the images one at a time, it will just create a grid with all these different thumbnails, which can be so annoying. But I digress. This is the reason why I've specifically said one at a time. I've also said, please generate the first one now and then confirm with me if we can proceed to the next generation. So what I'm trying to say here is, after you create that one generation, after you create each generation, let me know, export it, and once we've approved it together, then we'll move on to the next one. You don't just immediately automatically go on to the next one because I might not like the one that you've created. So that's the thought process behind that AI prompt. First image that has come up with, brilliant. So I like this one. So this is now an image that I've created. This is not an image that belongs to someone else. The copyrights are my own there. And I've said to it, perfect. Next one, please. And then it's created another one here. Subtle differences there. It's very similar. And then I said, next one, please. We can see some subtle differences in the skin tone there. Again, different background, different background, different background, which is what I said. So it's doing really well there. Next, please. Overall, the style and the presentation of the image wasn't really as varied as I would have liked it. So I then went on to ChatGPT and I said, hey, fantastic. How many more images are remaining? Please remember, we are referencing the images I attached earlier, including the ones of the standalone product and the hand holding the tablet next to the product. So I'm saying to it, hey, you're doing a great job, but look at these images that I've uploaded here. They are not too similar. One is the product its own with a background. One is of the product with virtually no background. One is the product being held, and one has even got the tablets on it. So I think somewhere along the way here, ChatGPT forgot that information. So it came back to me and said, hey, we've created 4 out of 5 images requested so far, meaning there's one remaining. Hand holding bottle, cozy living, modern kitchen. Yeah. As for the final stage, I can now shift closer to the other reference styles you've loaded, and it gives me a description of what it's going to look at doing there. The strongest angle as well, because it's aware, because I've given it context, because I've said it's for TikTok shop. So straight away, ChatGPT is now thinking within the confines of what works within that particular platform, as it would do for Instagram, as it would do for Facebook, as it would do for Snapchat and all these different platforms, which is why it's important for you to give it context. Now, then went on to say, next image, please, the one with the capsules on the palm of the hand next to the tablet container. Brilliant. It went and created that. Little bit janky here and there, not the best image, but the writing on the product is pretty much spot on. It's very hard to notice any sort of subtle errors. So I like that one. And then I said, finally, the one with the product on its own. So again, I'm steering and guiding it there into the result that I want, and boom, we've got one of the product on its own there. And I was happy with that result there. From this point, what you can do is export by clicking that button, and then you can save and download back into that same folder that we created earlier. We're all going to need them on the next stage in our process. So you want to make sure that you stay organized and keep them within that folder. Okay, so the next step in our process is going to be uploading exported images into Canva. We are then going to save them to a Canva folder. If you have got the option to save to a folder, I believe that should be available even on the free version. I'm not entirely sure. Then we're going to choose a suitable aspect ratio. Mine is going to be vertical 9:16 for this example, and then we're going to convert that image into video. This is the most exciting part by far, I believe. So let's jump in. Okay, so I am within my Canva homepage here. As you can see, I mess around a lot on Canva, but the image that I've uploaded is right there. Now, what I meant about folders, if you click on the 3 dots there, you can actually move it to a folder that you have created on here. Don't be like me. I'm very disorganized. I've not put it in a folder, but you can simply just create a new folder. And then from there, you can just move it onto the folder that you have created. So I'm just going to click on the image there, and that's going to take us onto our editing page. Now here, this is one that's already been converted into a video. And just to give you an idea of what this is going to look like, I'm just going to click on the video here. Okay. So here's what we do. Upload the image. So I'm going to click on there, create another canvas by clicking the plus at the bottom there. And I'm going to then go into my uploads. I'm going to find the image that I have uploaded, which is here. And then I'm going to go and close the uploads section. So once you've uploaded it, notice that it doesn't fill the background canvas straight away. You want it to, of course, fill the canvas. So when it is converted to video, it doesn't have all that unnecessary white space all around it. So what you do in order to do that, you just right click on it and you select set image as background. And just like that, it is now the full background. And by the way, I'm just showing you here with one image example. Of course, we have got all these different images that we can use for these different settings here. But for the purposes and the scope of this video, I'm just going to show you one image getting turned into a video. If you click on the image, then select edit on the far left there, and you now have an edit menu that has come up. It's important to note this menu will only come up if you upload an image. If it's already a video, it will come up with a different menu. So number of different options there. We've got magic layers, magic edit, upscale, and so forth. But the one that we are interested in is this image to video one. We now have a menu that's popped up, which has an option to generate a 5-second video. Now it's also got a tab for custom there, and this is where I can prompt it, give it some additional instructions in terms of what I am looking for. If you want to be a bit more detailed, a bit more customized, a bit more specific around what you want to happen within the video, you can use that option. Here, I'm just selecting the smart one where I allow the Canva AI to choose. I've got an option for 5-second videos, so I am going to click generate 5-second video. And just like that, it is working hard, making all those pixels move. You can see it's scanning the image, it's scanning the product, it's scanning the background, it's scanning all the different graphic elements it can see on there, the lighting, the setting, the mood, and just like that, that quickly it has generated. And look at that, it's now even added a shadow, which wasn't there before, and that could be a shadow of a person that's moving next to the product. Now, you could even take that a step further and try a completely different approach. And this time I'm going to go for custom instructions. I'm going to show you a little trick here where you can go back into ChatGPT and you can actually ask ChatGPT to brainstorm and give you an idea of what to write within this section here, what to prompt Canva. So I'm going to go back onto this page here. I'm going to say, please give me a short AI image to video prompt. In terms of the video, we are keeping it simple, health, and well. Okay, there we go. So let's see what ChatGPT comes back with. And with this done, we are then going to go back, grab the prompt, go into Canva, and we are going to use that prompt and see if it's able to come up with something decent. Slow handheld, pushing, soft natural light, gentle camera, say, subtle focus, breathing. Perfect. Notice how this is not tied to any one of those images. This is a sort of universal prompt that we can use on any of those images. So I've copied it. We're going to paste the prompt from ChatGPT there. Go ahead and generate. It's going to be interesting to see how much of it comes out following that same prompt. And remember also, the journey does not end here. Once you've got your video, you can take it onto an external tool and do some additional editing on there as well. Okay, a bit shaky, like it's realistic, like a normal handheld camera would look like, or a video that's filmed from a smartphone. Now, the beautiful thing here is because I've created all these different videos here, I now have some varying angles that I can use for this video. So if I go and close the uploads tab and if I play, okay, that's a static one there. Just wait until that's done. There we go. So that is the first clip with a person. And then the second clip now has a nice zoom in, interesting, simple movement within the product video. Just like that, you've converted a static image into an interesting video using AI, ChatGPT, Canva, and of course, in my case, Google. I'm just going to do an overall playthrough just to see what it looks like. Camera going around, camera zooming out, and we'll have a shadow, and then we've got camera zooming in, and you could be talking in the background, describing whatever it is in the video. You could be using music, whatever it is you feel like adding. The journey doesn't necessarily have to end there. And from